Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Dropped Frames. I hope everything is good, because I rushed a little bit. What was that? You got those those eyes. I've been trained to see those eyes and think bad things. What was that, Co?
Oh, I didn't know what you were talking about for a second.
Oh, okay, all right. Whew, you gave me a hard. Co, what episode are we on?
I can hear music while you're talking.
Okay, I'll mute that. I have no idea why that happens. Still have not figured that out.
That might be me.
No, that's me.
It
happens. It happens every episode, or since I've been down here. That's me.
Episode this time. I think we're on 4671 today.
Nice. Still getting closer to 5K. We'll get there. Maybe E3 will be 5K. We'll see. Baru, welcome back to the show, good sir. How's it going?
Hi. Doing good.
Good. Now, is this weird for your audience to see with the camera on? Because you kind of like tend to not use a camera, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really use a camera at all. I feel more comfortable without it, like as far as like streaming is concerned, but like people know what I look like. I turn it on occasionally when I show off my dog.
Okay.
And you used a camera for a while, didn't you?
I did. For the first like 2 years I used a camera, and then I was just like, I had a headache one day. I turned my camera off and I just kept streaming, and I was just like, man, this is like 10 times better. What if I just never turned it back on?
I did that for about a year, and then I was like, and then I just turned it back on one day.
I kind of like that idea.
Yeah. It's nice. It's nice to just turn it off, to just not have lights in your face.
Yeah. It is. See, you understand. You just stay like that.
I could get a blanket.
You can.
Dude, I got one. See, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah. See, he's got a blanket.
Okay.
This is how I stream.
Yeah,
like 90% of the time, but they don't actually get to see that.
Yeah,
just a mound of panda salesmen.
That's true. Yeah. The panda salesman. That's what you should just change your Twitch. Admiral Brew's not really like. What are you an admiral of? Do you even have a ship? Are you fake?
I don't have a ship. You know what? I'm just gonna. You're right. I'll just change my name to Panda Salesman Baru. That's
you got it. Like it has to make sense. Yeah, it has to make sense. Has to make sense. Well, we're gonna
talk about going.
I mean, the Admiral thing came from like when I had to sign up for Google Plus. So it's like you need a first and last name.
Oh,
Baru. We need a first or last name as well.
I was about to ask a really stupid question, so I'm going to ask it anyways, just for fun. I was about to ask you, when you fill out like forms, you know where it says like Mr. Is there the option to put Admiral? But then I was like, nope, that's the dumbest question of all time. Because of course there's not. Why would there be? Yeah. Anyways.
Mr. Admiral Baru.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The like 10 admirals in the world filling out forms are just like, this is an atrocity.
Yeah.
I worked for this title.
You are not an admiral. Why do you have that in your name?
Yeah.
You disgrace all admirals.
You dishonor pandas everywhere.
Exactly. Well, this is a little bit different of an episode because we're going to be starting out with a spoiler cast for the next 49 minutes. We're on the clock. Sorry, I chopped off 10 minutes because I was just bad. So if you don't want to be spoiled for God of War, come back at 2 Eastern. You know, because we're in the spoiler zone. That's the tag you get. The spoiler cast. That's all you get. That's it. Look, it's red. It's right in the center. If they don't see it, it's not my fault.
You might have to put God of War in there somewhere.
Okay. You should. Yeah, you gotta. You can't just put spoiler cast because say like, I don't know, you could have been spoiling anything. I might as well get out now.
The boss of Infinity War was the Jedi from the last Star Wars movie. Ruined.
Can you put space? How does that work? Nope. It's gonna have to.
There you go.
Oh, this edits in real time.
On
This edits in real time. I'm not really super into that, but it's the best I could do in seconds. So that's the best I could do.
Anyway, what if you're colorblind to red? Oh, it's a good point.
Well, we can make it white, but it's not going to be his eye drawing. Wait, if you're colorblind to red, then you would just see it in a different color. Well, it doesn't matter.
No, all the colors blend in. I only see blue.
That's not true.
It's just a blue screen.
That's not a thing.
That's not a thing.
It's not a thing.
How it works.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
it's not like red becomes invisible to you. Like
yeah. Yeah. I'll
I can't
consult
see red.
chat.
I've never had an apple, just invisible fruit.
I'll consult chat. You guys spoil. Like, where do we even want to start? So I had the end. I talked about this last week. I had the ending to God of War spoiled for me within probably the first 2 hours that Loki is the sun. And then I got to the end of the game and I was like, that's probably the worst spoiler I've ever had, because it didn't mean that much to me. Did it mean a lot to you guys? Did you guys know that going into the very end?
No, I didn't know that at all.
See,
No, I have a passing familiarity with Norse mythology from lots of different sources.
Yeah.
Whether they be true or not, or like true to the actually original story. And Loki, like, you'd have to know that his wife, Kratos' wife, was a giant, because Loki is the son of giants, like in the mythology.
Yep.
And
We've
that
all
was
seen
not
Thor.
like an obvious thing.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah,
No,
like I mean,
go ahead.
No, I mean, I was just gonna say, is like Kratos' wife being a giant was more impactful as like a spoiler, because she had that vision, could see everything. That was way more impactful than, hey, my son's Loki. He's gonna turn into an animal later.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I gotta say, I thought it was actually a really big deal and a big reveal. And the reason being is because the idea that Kratos helped Loki kind of get to where he needs to be. Because remember, Loki is the harbinger of Ragnarok and all that other stuff that's happening in mythology. So basically, the interesting thing is, Kratos killed basically all of his gods and then came to this new realm and then had the kid that's going to raise up and destroy all the gods in that realm.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like this weird cyclical cycle that Kratos has somehow gotten into. And also that kind of, I was more curious the whole time about the wife, much less than the kid, for the reasons you mentioned, particularly the axe and everything. They never explained her. Like, why did she have that axe? What did she do? And a bunch of questions we still don't know. How did they meet? How did they get together? We know Kratos. How did he let his guard down to ever get with a girl? Like, there's all these questions that are still there, and all could have big ramifications to the story and how it develops. So when I heard the ending was Loki, I felt like I just saw the intro to a game.
Sure.
I felt like, holy shit, like this is where the story starts. This is where this is going to get real. So I felt it was a pretty big reveal when you connect it to all the other kind of filaments in it.
I just want to know, like, how he goes from like Greece to the Norse mythology area. I'm just still caught up in that. It's just like, is there like a little?
We can talk about this now. We didn't get to last week, so this is really cool. Now, and we almost talked about this a little bit. When you're walking through Zeus's area, there's this one particular mural, and what it talks about is Tyr, who has the gem that lets him travel between all the different realms. If you look at the four corners of the mural, one of them is a Kratos' homeworld. Another of them is, I think, Egyptian lore. One of them is like Buddhist lore, I think. And then I think what was the last one? And the last one was
Celtic.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So whatever Tyr did that let him travel between all the different realms also let him travel to different pantheons, to different religions. That's why he had that's why he had the vase from Kratos that had Kratos on it. That's why he had the wine. That's why he had, if you look around Tyr's workshop, there's Egyptian relics everywhere. There's Celtic relics everywhere. And that, I think, is going to play big into the rest. Like the guy joked about having enough content for what, 5 more games? I wouldn't be surprised if he starts bouncing between pantheons to accomplish some big global goal of some kind. But holy shit, man, he's going to kill every god. Every god is going to die by the end of the God of War series.
Well, that's the weird thing about this one. That's the strange thing about this one. Like, how many gods did he kill?
Well, he only killed what he needed to for his kid to survive, right? Like, he wasn't.
He killed.
Yeah,
he killed
Loki.
Loki.
Well, I mean, technically, 2. The kid killed one of them.
Yeah,
that's true. Good point. Three gods died.
Yeah.
Baldur, Modi.
Like, you compare that to his kill count in the previous games. He's like at 26 or something for the other ones.
Yeah. Actually, we don't even know if Modi died. Modi got stabbed in the neck and kicked off a thing, but he easily could come back for revenge later. They gave no death scene for him, unlike the other two.
True, he could be alive, but it's just like it's Modi. He's just gonna get beat up by his dad.
Right.
Hey, Dad, I got stabbed in the neck. Help!
Yeah.
After getting beat up by you.
Well, did Magni actually die, or did we just kick him into the?
We
just
saw,
got
we
kicked
saw
into
him
the
die.
thing.
No, I'm pretty sure we saw him die.
Modi was. We see him when we go back up to the mountain for the last time, and Modi was beaten up. He was bleeding and beating, and he was talking about how Thor blamed him for the death of his brother, and that's when the kid goes, stabs him in the neck, and then kicks him over the side. So it's assumed that he dies. I mean, at that point, Kratos even tells Loki, like, "Hey, what are you doing? You're killing against my will." Like, he says all that stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Other scenes, the other two scenes, we saw them die. Like, Balder's eyes went bloodshot, and the other guy got sliced in two. So
but no one talked about it though. Like, everybody talked about the Magni, whichever one was first. Like, it was felt around Midgard. They were like, "Whoa, what happened? Oh shit, you killed a god. Uh-oh." We all felt it, that kind of thing. But the other one, like, wasn't even made mention of, like, that it was actually felt or whatever. I mean, you assume he's dead,
Modi. Nobody cares about Modi.
Yeah.
He had just been beaten up by his dad. I don't think anyone really cared. Like, he was a failure and everyone was.
I do feel there was a difference, though, between the other three games and this one. Because, like, in the other games, Kratos wanted to kill those gods. And this one, they were just, like, in the path of him from doing what he wanted to with his wife's ashes. Like, he didn't, I don't know. There was definitely a change in character.
Obstacle.
Yeah. It was a very minor change. Like, he still killed gods, right? Like, that's kind of the basis of the game. You're going to see a guy, he's going to go fight a bunch of gods, and that's going to be it.
Yeah, he's not, like, actively seeking them out. It's just like, hey, man, I just want to go over here.
Right.
I just want to go spread these ashes.
And I mean, he even walked away. Didn't he walked away after you, like, finished the Balder fight? He walks away, right? And then he's like, he doesn't stop chasing him or whatever, and that's when he kills him, I think is how it went down. I'll have to rewind to the fight because I don't remember the specifics of, like, his
I remember it. He walks away and he's just like, "No, we're not doing this." And then Balder decides he's going to try and kill Freya anyway. And then Kratos says, "No, the cycle of vengeance ends here," and, like, snaps his neck, and it's like,
"That's right,
stop."
And we think it probably has something to do with the fact that Atreus witnessed that, and Atreus at the time is like, "So this is what it's like to be a god: mothers killing fathers and dads killing dads," and that's why Kratos was like, "No, the cycle ends here," and he walked over and killed Balder, and he's like, "I'm not going to let this son kill the mom. We're going to finish this," and yeah, I wonder if that's going to extend to the rest of the royal family.
Yeah. I was kind of there was someone on Twitter that, and I thought this was going to happen in the game. So I actually ended up blocking this person. But someone tweeted something, was like, continuing in God of War. And it was Kratos and the kid, like, up on top of a mountain, kind of like a hill or something. And in the background, like, this giant Norse looking dude, like, lands on the ground. And I thought that was Odin. So the entire time I'm playing and expecting, like, Odin to drop down from the sky and, like, fight the world, or maybe it was Thor, fight the world serpent, and it never happened. So, like, was that a made-up gift? Do you guys have any idea where that came? Was that shown in, like, an E3 trailer or something?
No, I don't. The only time I think Thor's ever been shown is if you go to that extra ending, if you go into your cabin.
Which, so I still haven't seen that yet. Maybe that's the scene. Oh, maybe that's the scene. Okay.
You haven't seen it?
No, I didn't. I chat was real crazy when I beat the game. Like,
why,
it was.
Why don't you find it?
Right now, I guess I could go do it. Yeah. Actually, no, I can't because I'm using the capture card.
It's not that big. There's a couple, like, little things. It's not like
I'll find it in your dog, maybe.
All that it is just like, hey, it's Thor. He's very angry.
So that asshole actually tweeted that. What a motherfucker. So I actually have seen that scene. They stay blocked.
That was the hidden ending in that case.
Okay. It wasn't really hidden though, because it said let's go home.
It's not really hidden.
Yeah,
it literally says go home.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not.
One thing I wanted to say, like, I can't be the only person who when you pick up Mimir and you grab him, all that stuff, and you're holding him, you know, on your belt or whatever, and you look at him, and I looked at it, I went, that's Odin. Like, you're carrying around Odin the whole time because he's Odin one eye, you know, he's missing an eye, just like Mimir. It's all a ruse. It's all like it's all a trick.
Yeah.
Odin wants you to go to Jotunheim.
Odin has one eye in the lore. So I could see why
in the lore,
yeah.
I thought it was all a trick, and he was trying to get you to go to Jotunheim because that's where he wants to go. He wants to find a way to Jotunheim.
Yeah.
And that's
well, I wonder if he knew all the giants were dead though.
But that's the thing. It was revealed at the end, obviously, like towards the end, that it wasn't.
Right.
Because, you know, you find his other eye and you put it in or whatever to create the, you know, the head Bifrost or whatever. And no, I honestly was like, it's a trick. The whole thing's a trick. Odin's he's tagging along to get this open because he can't do it himself for some reason or something like that. I was like, this is going to be a cool twist.
I think that's some of your Norse knowledge kind of leaking in there, forming false positives, which makes sense.
Also, and that kind of shit happens, but sometimes it's proven right. I knew immediately when you go into Freya's house and the dwarves have given you mistletoe arrows, I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Because I knew from mythology that that's the only thing that can hurt Baldur.
See, I didn't know that at all. I do remember when she took the arrows from him, I was like, but he still has that one on his chest, so that's going to come into play.
I saw that too. Like, as soon as, like, I had an idea of that was Freya when she took the mistletoe. It's like, why on earth would she hate mistletoe? There's only one reason you would hate mistletoe. It's because you know Baldur's weak to it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you've got that one little piece left in, you know, holding your strap together. That's how we're killing them.
Yeah, exactly.
See, man, I was on such a different wavelength because I didn't know anything about mistletoe. So you guys know that part where, Atreus kills Modi and he gets all whatever, and he gets like, oh, I'm a god now and everything. I thought that was the mistletoe on his chest. I was like, oh, it's making him evil. Like, that's why she snatched the arrows. So up until the very end, up until this scene when she punches his chest, I was just like, oh, so the kid was just an asshole.
Yeah, he's just a dick.
Oh,
that was honestly,
so he was just a dick.
That was the worst part of the game for me, is when the son started being a dick. It's like I cared so little that he would just randomly go whatever, and I wanted, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna throw you off this fucking mountain,
dude. You know what? Go ahead, you carry mom.
Yeah,
she ain't even a god.
I got so pissed off at him.
Us.
Yeah.
When he said that, I was just like, ugh.
You take the time to point at a crystal and you hit square for him to fire, and he says, whatever. Come here. Whatever.
Yeah.
There's a scene like when he's when the kid kills Modi. It's probably one of my favorite ones of Kratos' interaction with his son, is when he just says, whatever, we're a god. And it like pans to Kratos, and you can just like see the eyes just like rolling into the back of Kratos' head. It's just like, please, I will strangle this child.
Yeah, it's I want to go. For me, the best moment, and a lot of it has to do with because I played the 3 games before that week. But the thing when your son gets kidnapped, and you're like, you got to go to hell, and it has like that slow walk back and ride back to your house to get the blades. That entire scene, I think, was probably the best like 30 or 40 minutes in the entire game. Like, it was such like a fucking badass moment because I knew what he was going to get. I think everyone knew what he was going to get.
Everyone knew what he was getting.
It was so awesome. It was so incredible.
And I gotta the combat of the blades, I think, is perfect for the new like system.
Yeah,
like they transitioned the old weapon into the new game flawlessly.
Oh yeah,
it really did feel like, you know, the Chaos Blades 2.0.
Yeah, even the movesets were similar. Like the entire playing God of War 1 through 3, I was like doing square triangle for the 2 slashes, then like the pound that launches them up in the air. And the second that I picked up the blades, that's exactly what I did, and that's exactly what happened in game. And I was like, All right, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. And then I died like 30 times because we were all playing on the hardest difficulty, and that part sucked when he first got to
Oh, dude, that part was so terrible.
It was really hard.
On the hardest difficulty, that part took me like a half hour straight. Yes. Oh my god,
so bad because you're just like, you stagger them just fine with the blades, and then they get knocked all the way to the other side of the map. And then they level up, and then they come back, and then you can't stagger them, and it's just like,
yeah.
And of course,
you leveled up, dudes. I guess I'm gonna be here for a while.
You have hordes of enemies that are weak, and what's perfect for hordes of enemies that are weak? Atreus's shock arrows.
Yes.
Guess who's not in that part? Fucking Atreus. Yeah, the one time you really need him, he's not there. But real quick before we go past the part, JP, because games have been doing this more recently. And I couldn't agree with you more. I love them. The walks. When the game makes you just traverse an area, like, and either gives you some kind of, like, Evil Within 2 did it really well at the end of it. And also, I alluded to mentioning this last week. The only time in this game that, like, I got, like, choked up is the walk at the end. Like when the game will not let you run and you're walking up to the summit. And the music starts playing, and it's panning, and Atreus is saying stuff. Like, that was so well done at the end. I was not expecting it to be that good. They did a great job with that one.
Yeah. This is kind of the entire walk back to the witch's place, which Athena shows up. Like, it was basically him, and he didn't say anything to her until he was in. He didn't even acknowledge she was there until he was in the cabin, right? Until he was in his house.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything to her. Like, I don't know too much about that. Like, is that just like a figment of his imagination, or is she actually like there?
He specifically says, "Get out of my head."
Yeah.
So I think the thinking is that she is somehow able to influence him mentally, but obviously he has enough control over it to, I think at one point he like waves her away, or he just like tells her to go away, and then
he just walks. He literally just walks through her.
Yeah. Which is a pretty big moment, I think. It does
seem like it's not a hallucination. And maybe that means we're going to see more of her in future games, or maybe when we start jumping pantheons, they'll change that. We'll have to see.
Yeah, maybe so.
I mean, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of things come back because we saw in Helheim, Zeus was there.
Right, that freaked me out.
Yeah, that was crazy, like seeing. I just want to say just one small little detail that I noticed. When Kratos, when it does the flashback of you seeing the little ghost Kratos beat up Zeus, it even has like the animation to when you do the QTEs.
Yes,
It does the same amount of punches and then the QTE kick. I was just like, man, that's just a small little detail that I love so much.
Right, they didn't have to do that. They could have just made the scene look better or look different, but they went back and like made sure that it was exactly the same, which is awesome.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
I love
Wait, is this the part with the blades?
Yes, this is before you get the blades. So
who is it? Is this you playing?
This is me playing, and
it's before you got the blades.
It's before I got the blades, yeah. And I had never used, like, up until this point, I never bothered to use my fist. So like I have zero abilities actually like not researched, but gained, I guess. I didn't spend any XP on any of this shit. So this fight was just like stupidly difficult because I was just fighting with like nothing. So it took me a pretty good chunk of time, which kind of like broke the narrative a tiny. Here's me actually upgrading a little bit. Kind of broke the narrative a little bit because like,
oh fuck.
Yeah, I died like 2 or 3 times, but it was still, the entire thing was still great. I think that's for me like the best like single moment in the game was when he gets the blades. You go outside and fight him, and I would imagine Zeke, you can attest to this because you played on this is not a slight. I'm saying you played on the easier difficulty. Do you just absolutely destroy those things and feel fucking awesome after you get the blades?
I mean, the next difficulty down is still challenging.
Yeah,
it's not a gimme by any means.
Yeah,
but it's definitely not like you don't have to fight leveled up guys. Like however difficult they are to beat in the first go round, that's similar to how they are to beat like in the hardest difficulty if they don't level up.
Okay.
Yeah, like them leveling up is like if you just took out the leveling up system, that's the two difficulties are basically the same. Maybe you take one extra hit before you die, but
Yeah.
Before if you don't let them level up, you're basically on the kind of like the same difficulty.
So I beat the game on the second hardest difficulty, and then went back and beat the game on the hardest difficulty. And at the beginning, like Baru said, they're pretty similar. But when you get to this point of the game, it's significantly easier on the second hardest difficulty. Like, I'm pretty sure I kind of walked through these two scenes, and then I came back here on the hardest, and it was like a completely like the hard, especially towards the end of the game, and like Baru said with the level up system, that completely changes strategy. That completely changes how you approach fights. Like, things that I had done in the second hardest difficulty just didn't work in the hardest difficulty, especially when you start getting the enemies that not only level, but then they heal. So they'll just go off to a corner and put their arms up, and they heal back up to full.
Yeah.
And like that, again, some strategies that you did in the second hardest just don't work.
I was speaking more to just the idea of like, they wanted you to feel powerful after getting those weapons, and on the hardest difficulty, you don't. Like, you have to take a second to be like, all right, what are the combos here? How do I launch this shit? Okay, that's a grab. Like, how does this all work, et cetera, et cetera. And I would think on like the other difficulties, you just kind of destroy that shit because they want you to feel like powerful after getting such a big item.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
it does feel good. Like, when you're playing on the hardest difficulty, like, it gets to a point to where like you learn. Like, I mean, I struggled on that specific part right after you get the blades, but like a little bit of time after that, you really learn how to like juggle the enemies, which is what like it's kind of what they want you to do. They want you to always be aggressive with the enemies. If you're ever letting down your or like stopping your assault, they level up and it becomes harder. So as long as you're like always in the fray, you're good. And it punishes you for like trying to turtle up and back off. And I like that. Yeah, I like that it promotes a more aggressive play style.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah,
that's one thing I've always hated. It's like when you up the difficulty, it usually makes you it forces you to play a more defensive style in most games when you play on harder difficulty, but this one's like the complete opposite. You have to be more aggressive.
Yeah.
Or you're going to lose.
I think until a point it does that. Like the beginning of the game, you had to play pretty, at least I did. I had to play like pretty cheesy. Like I had to knock people off or like do infinite locks on just one mob because he was the stronger mob that could just one-shot me. So I would just sit there and use the triangle with barehanded, so it just constantly kicks them, and it's like a perfect lock on those mobs. But once I got a couple of upgrades, I could actually go toe-to-toe with those guys. I remember this fight now, actually, since I'm watching it. I think it's this attempt, it might be another one, where I ended up like killing the fight with zero, like with that much life. And it felt that much cooler when I got my weapon or when you got the blades, because you're just like, you went through all of that to get it, which is kind of a lot of the game was like that. Almost that we were talking about it last week, actually. And we talked about it in like in the trying not to spoil it. The fight with the two brothers was, I think, my favorite boss fight in the entire game. Because when he like when they do the combo move that one shots you on the hardest difficulty and you have to throw your axe at them to interrupt it, that entire fight was awesome. With was it Modi and
the fight with them was amazing.
Yeah, Modi and what's the other guy? I'm blanking on his name.
Magni and Modi.
Yeah, Magni and Modi. Yeah, that entire fight was awesome. I think my favorite fight. My least favorite one, I hated the dragon. I absolutely hated the first dragon fight because I just didn't understand what the fuck to do for like at least 25 minutes.
I see. My brain with that fight was like turned into mush.
Same.
Because at no point did I think that I could block a ground-based shockwave with my shield that is in front of my
That's what happened to me, dude. And chat's like losing it.
When I figured that out, I was like, why it's hitting my shins.
Yeah.
My shield is here. Help.
Yeah. For me, it was blocking it, and then it was taking that, because like I was grabbing that stuff, but I was throwing it at the end of the animation where his mouth was open, not at the beginning, so it would like just kind of explode on him. So I probably spent 30 minutes just fucking running around like an idiot trying to find something to do. That was my least favorite fight for sure.
One thing about the difficulty though, and this took me by surprise. So when I went through the game on the second hardest, I did a Valkyrie. And the Valkyrie fight was the Valkyrie fight that I did on the second hardest difficulty was not easy. Like,
which one was it?
Clearly designed as endgame content. I was not endgame at the time. However, I beat it. and I beat it, as people were saying in chat, earlier in the story than I should have. But here's the thing. The entire fight was a perfect parry fight. So as long as you could parry her, which after about 10 minutes of trying, we got everything down and I was able to do that. I had a fight where I parried almost everything she did, almost didn't get hit the whole fight, and then we killed her, and it was great. So I'm playing through on the hardest difficulty offline, and I get up to that point, and my whole plan was to beat the game on the hardest difficulty offline, and I'm actually planning on streaming more, potentially up to 100% on the hardest difficulty. Second hardest just wasn't quite hard enough for me to want to do that in.
Yeah.
So I'm playing through it, and I get up to that Valkyrie, and I'm like, oh, let me go ahead and beat this Valkyrie on the hardest difficulty since I already did this on the last hardest. No problem. I go in and fight the same Valkyrie. She has new moves, first of all. Same Valkyrie with new moves. And second of all, I spent a good 15 minutes on this Valkyrie. Probably died about 20 times. She had a move that I couldn't figure out how to get around. I tried throwing my axe at her. I tried running up to her and hitting her. She would just do this thing where she'd just be like, and her thing would turn red and red and red, and she'd do the big red flash.
Oh.
And then I would just die.
Did you ever figure that out?
I couldn't block it. I couldn't dodge it. I couldn't hit her to block. Like I still to this day have no idea how to get around.
You turn around.
What?
You just hit down on the D-pad.
It's like a flash of light. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that too. I had to be told how to like block that. You literally just don't look at her.
Here's the thing though. Here's the thing. That Valkyrie didn't do that in my second hardest playthrough.
Yeah, which is awesome. Yeah.
So, because like as I had no idea what I was doing, and I was sitting there like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I take it
I beg to differ on the second hardest difficulty because I'm playing on that, and she indeed does that. Huh. Like, it took me a minute. I was like, this is so counterintuitive, but I'm gonna try turning around.
Did it kill you if you get hit by it?
Immediately, like insta kill.
Yeah, it's really weird. I wonder if the Valkyries,
those AIs are. I did a couple. One of them I did so much that I literally learned like every animation that she had and how to react to it. Those Valkyries do moves based on where you're at in correlation to them, like distance between the two.
Yeah.
So since you were perfect pairing, you were probably in her face the entire time, and she never probably got away to be able to do it. I think.
I mean,
that's the only thing I
that
can
would
think
probably
of.
be it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. Because I mean, when I beat her, like you can see it on YouTube. It was literally just all yellow attacks.
Yeah.
Like and it was yellow attacks, and there was a couple red attacks that I could just dodge left and right, easy, no problem. I didn't get that instant kill once. So I don't know. That's cool. That's good to know. That's awesome that that's even a mechanic. I'm gonna be blunt. If I would have kept playing it offline, I never would have tried that.
Yeah.
I never would have tried it. Now that makes me wonder, the guys with the skulls and stuff, can you do that on them too?
You throw your thing at the skull.
At them.
Yeah, you have to hit the skull, not their head. I don't know if you can turn though. Okay. I don't know if you can actually turn from those.
Interesting.
I don't think you can. Apparently you can block it with your shield.
What? Because I don't know about that.
Because I went into the keep. I went into this one of the dragon keeps, and it literally starts with one of the travelers channeling a skull.
Yeah.
And you block it because you don't have time to throw your axe. And I was just like, I've been able to block it. It's a ground-based attack.
Yeah.
You gotta stop with this. Can we stop with the ground AoE being blocked by my shield? Also,
at least give me some shin guards or something. I need some immersion here.
Since we're talking about Valkyries, are we able to talk about the last one?
I haven't done it yet, but I don't really care about having it being spoiled.
I think, yeah.
I know you fight the queen after you kill the 7 of them, but I don't know anything about the fight or what it looks like.
I hate it.
Is it
that's
super
really
hard?
All I wanted to say.
Okay.
You hate it, Baru, or do you love it now that you've beaten it?
I love it now that I've beaten it, but like, it took me 6 hours to beat that.
Really?
On the hardest difficulty because. She does every attack.
Here, let me try to find the VOD.
I wanted to talk to you about this, Baru. So it took you 6 hours to beat this boss. First of all, like, awesome. Like, that's a lot of dedication. Second of all, why? Was it because was it because you needed 6 hours to learn the fight? Was it because you got the fight like the first 30 minutes, but it was just really, really hard? Like, why did it take 6 hours?
Okay, so the way that I described Sigrun, or Sigrun, however you say it, it's like bop it. You know what a bop it is. It tells you to do something. Twist it. Okay, imagine that, but 27 different things. Because the way that her fight works, is that she has every attack of all the Valkyries combined into one, and almost every single one of them one-shots you if you get hit by it. Some of them don't, but for the most part, most of them one-shot you. And the way that this the way that this fight works is it's a lot like Bop It. She does something, you have to react to it in a very specific way, or you're dead. And you have to basically be perfect for 15 minutes.
So follow-up question. How much were your hands shaking on that attempt that got in the very last of the board?
Dude, I was just like, because it's so stressful, because like when she gets down to the last 3 bars, she gets like this enrage, her eyes glow red and all that. I don't know if you can like skip ahead to that part. That'll be hard to find.
Just
but
go through the 6 hours clicking around.
just keep waiting until eventually she dies, and then back up after that. But having what is it? Having her being in that enrage mode, she takes so little damage. Those last 3 bars almost feels like an entirely new health bar with how little damage she takes on the hardest difficulty. So it's just like, it's so stressful because you know she's doing increased damage. So it's like, if I get hit at any point during this, I'm going to die.
That move I hate. God, I hate that fucking move. It's the stupidest move in the game.
It's so, you have no reaction time to it.
It's so hard. You have to, so that's again, we were talking about this last week. If you played without audio, I feel like this game is impossible on the hardest difficulty, because the only way to react to that is not by her animation of jumping up. It's by, does she go like for Valhalla when she says that?
No.
Is it removed?
No, this fight, she doesn't say anything. She just jumps up. You have to be ready.
That was the hardest part of the normal Valkyrie. When she, she would go Valhalla, and then she'd stagger the last one by like half a second.
That's the fun part about this fight. Man. She doesn't say shit. She'll just mid combo decide, I'm up. I'm down. You're dead.
Fuck
and that's like the most. It was terrible. Because the thing is that like the best part about that move, you can't even redstone out of it. If you get killed by that attack, the animation of her like walking away is enough for the death screen to pop up.
Let's be real here though. Who uses res stones?
I beat it without a redstone on the hardest difficulty.
I never used a single redstone the entire game because I'm an idiot. So
did I hear that the time you beat this, you didn't get hit? Was that right?
I got hit like I think 2 or 3 times throughout the entire fight. They were like little minor attacks. Okay. She has one attack that I feel like is
or something. Did you beat one of the Valkyries without getting hit?
Oh yeah, I flawless one of the fights. I think know
that's
which one
I heard about. Because I was playing God of War one day, and you were playing at the same time, and all of a sudden my cat just erupts, kind of like the JPNN here on Drop Frames. It just kind of erupts with, Baru just beat a guy without getting hit. It was awesome. Baru just beat this guy. Pan is everywhere, and I'm just like, who? What? He did? Yay for Baru! Yeah, I had no idea what was going on, but everyone flip it out because you beat a Valkyrie. Yeah, and it was pretty good. So I guess like, that was one of the.
Does that? I don't know, man. It's just like, dude, this is more like directed at the chat. Do y'all just like go to channels and be like, hey man, you see what this other streamer did?
Without a doubt,
bro.
It happens.
Baru, this is a Twitch thing.
Yeah,
like it. Yeah. Oh god, yeah.
It happens absolutely. For sure. It happens anything someone's
between us 3. It's real bad.
Yeah, it happens to like the
stream on the same freaking channel.
The social circles of Twitch. If someone in your social circle does something that has like shared subs, then they immediately go to that person and be like, "Oh my god, did you? They're live. There's a baby on the screen right now, JP. There's a Dodger has her kid on the screen." I'm like, "Great, good for her. I'm glad it's alive, I guess. Thanks." What do you want me to say? I don't have any thoughts about this.
Is this actually the attempt that was the kill?
It's pretty close to the end. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh God! Wait a second. How many of these did you have where you got her this low and died?
Oh, so many, so many.
Oh, this happened on some of the. I forget which one it was. I don't remember any of the names, but I had like 3 or 4 attempts in a row where they had like one sliver of HP, like literally one attack. And you get so greedy.
That's the most depressing thing.
Because you want to use a special move and you like rush the last part. and then you're like, oh god, I can get another special move in here and it might kill her. Happened like 3 times. I got so fucking upset. So upset when it tilted me to oblivion. I want to see if this is the one where you kill her though.
I want to see it too. I'm watching it again. I'm like, man, this is exciting.
Oh, that's where you go. You looked at her. Yeah, you looked too soon.
No. That was I misread the attack. That's the one where she twirls her little axe in the air, and if you don't knock her down,
okay,
she insta kills you. And the thing was, a lot of people kept telling me that you could use the arrows, your kid's arrows, to knock her out of
Everyone said that too. I never was able to do that.
I always felt like that was just something you did on the lower difficulty. I don't think it works on the hardest difficulty. You have to hit her with an axe.
Yeah,
I'll tell you this right now: the arrows did not work on the Magni and Modi fight to bring the guy down on the hardest difficulty, but I don't remember that being an issue on the second hardest difficulty.
Yeah, everyone was, because that when I was doing that fight, everyone was like, throw your fucking arrows, throw your arrows. It's like, it doesn't work, you idiots. I'm doing it right now and it's not interrupting at all.
Do you remember that fight? Out of curiosity?
Which fight?
The Magni Modi fight, when Magni would throw up Modi and Modi would then do the red thing and slam down. Did you have to throw your axe at him, or could you use the arrows from your kid?
I really don't remember. Probably, I could probably use my arrows because I just mashed that.
Same here.
That's what happened
in Square. Like I'm like mashing it throughout most fights.
How did you guys
when I tried that on the hardest difficulty version, I just died every time. It took me a good 4 or 5 deaths to be like, oh, like I have to hit him or I will die. So yeah, that was a difference.
I might have ran away because usually if I see a red flash anywhere, I either run away or double roll.
Yeah.
Or roll away, the Dark Souls roll.
So fight, dude, not only do you get him tossed at you and you never know how far it is, but then there's an AoE when he hits the ground too. That shit was rough. It was
a lot of fun. That was my favorite fight, like I was saying. Baru, we were talking about last week. I was the only person that went to I think it's called classic controls. They both played on the normal controls. What did you change up your control set at all?
I never touched my controls. Okay. Like it felt good enough as is. Also, just if we can't find the end of it, I
found the clip. Yeah, I think this might be the very end. You get her low here towards the end of your VOD. So
it's either this one or it's the one after this for sure.
Yeah.
I will say that these control count number. I will say that this control scheme, I definitely did a lot of runic attacks when I meant to do like aimed axe throws.
I always activated my super. Just that was like I would walk into a Valkyrie fight and like charge, and I just like fat finger both sticks down, and I would just get enraged. And I was like, God fucking damn it! I just immediately restart.
Yeah.
But I never really had any issues with the controls after I swapped to classic mode. I'm trying to think if there's any other. What about for you guys? Like I said what my favorite moment was. Did you guys have a different favorite moment in the game?
Favorite moment.
The walk at the end.
Yeah, walk at the end.
That was a culminative thing for me. Same as my favorite moment in Evil Within 2. Yeah, just really well done.
I'd have to say just the boat ride to your blades. I think is personally my favorite out of everything, because that one, like, you could like feel the emotional weight on Kratos, like going back. He's like, this is a part of his life he wanted to get rid of.
Zeke?
And it's just you're taking that boat right back.
Totally. Zeke?
Well, I mean, those are great moments, and of course the emotional moments were probably the most lasting and will stay with you. But I gotta say, like reveals, big huge reveals, and when I saw that fucking giant that was dead in the snow, I went, oh my fuck, that's awesome. Just seeing that huge face like dead with the chisel in its fucking skull. First time we talked to the world serpent, I knew immediately. That was one of the, like, we talked about this last time. Like, I knew immediately right when you get the first time you get to Midir, and I saw like rolling hills and mountains with scales on. I went, oh, the fucking world serpent is here.
Yeah,
give me. And then he talks to you that fucking voice.
Voice is incredible. I want that to be my ringtone. Can you imagine if that was your ringtone? It'd be great. Yeah.
It would break your phone.
Did I say Midir? I'm sorry.
What? Oh,
I meant Midgard. I'm sorry.
Midgard. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean Midgard. I apologize.
I guess that wasn't the attempt because you got her stupidly low. This is definitely.
When of course when Freya takes control of Thalmor, I think is his name. This is the name of the giant, right?
Oh yeah, at the end
when she takes control during the Baldur fight. That was fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. Just this. I've always been a big fan of oversized things, like we were saying last time. Like the Shadow Colossus has a special place in my heart for that reason, because it feels like the Colossi are giant and it has weight. And like same with this shit. Like you look at the World Serpent and it is fucking enormous, and it's just like,
yeah.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
I just remembered because I hadn't seen the kill scene for these. When you rip the wings off the Valkyrie after you beat them, it's probably like one of the most satisfying acts of violence in the game because you're so tilted and so on edge when they're that low that you go up and fucking press R3 in and they just rip the wings off. You're like, you fucking piece of shit. Like,
I remember my feelings like going in. I won't lie. Seeing the same exact death sequence 8 times in a row was a little
yeah.
Like, come on, can we mix it up just a tiny bit? Because there was a point where Kratos is fighting a troll and he does the same animation, and then like halfway through it, he's like, but wait, what if we use our blades instead? And he does that one time. I was like, yeah, at least you acknowledged that you've been doing the same thing over and over again. You wanted to mix it up. It'd be cool if the last one had like some sort of unique death sequence.
I agree.
I'm still happy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back if there's any other moments I want to bring up or talk about. We talked about the brothers, like their chemistry was awesome. Throughout the entire game.
Can we talk about like how Thor and Odin were like mentioned throughout the entire thing, and you only get to see like barely a glimpse? And how disappointed I was that I didn't get to fucking fight either of them.
That's God of War 2, man. That's God of War 2.
I'm honestly glad that they decided to not like blow their load on trying to like get all these big name characters into their game. They mentioned them, and then all that buildup of them mentioning Thor over and over and over again, and then you just get that 10-second clip. That was all worth it to me. Like just seeing that 10 seconds, the music, the camera angles.
I need to go back and watch that or do that for the first time. Yeah.
Right. But I mean, honestly, part of you wanted to fight him, right?
Of course I'm part of.
I was going to say, like, I'm not like out of my mind.
We all know we're going to kill Odin. Like, we know it. It's going to happen. Odin's going to die, and it's going to be by either us or Atreus' hand. That's what's going to happen. But here's the thing. I'm actually totally with Baru on this, because I'm thrilled they got as much quality as they did out of what they use. There is so much more in that mythology that they can use.
Yeah.
Tons of it that they didn't even touch in this God of War. They have multiple games they could keep just in this pantheon, but we already know they're going to go to others. So I'm actually I'm thrilled that we didn't see Odin. I'm thrilled we didn't see Thor, because that makes this extremely good experience feel like the step in a journey instead of a bookend. Like this is just the beginning, and we have all this awesomeness to look forward to. Also, real quick side question before we go too far past it. Brew, what did you get for beating that guy?
For what? The
queen.
The biggest, hardest boss in the game. Yeah.
It gives you her helmet, which is worth 100,000. I was just like,
but don't you already have?
I don't need money anymore, but thanks.
That's kind of lame. You don't get any jewelry or anything.
I think you just get materials in her helmet, and it's just like, hey, good job. Oh no, wait, no, you get a new axe pommel, and it makes it so that way when you throw it horizontally, it goes straight indefinitely. There's no arc to it. It just goes straight. Which is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Is there a pommel that changes the way that the axes come back or something like that? The game director hinted that there was a pommel that changed the way that the axe worked when it was thrown. Maybe it was the one that you just said.
I think that's the one that.
Okay.
Like, because because it just goes in a straight line and it doesn't care what it hits. Like if you line all the enemies up, I was using it when I was doing the Muspelheim trials, and you just hit all of them, and then you call it back and hit all of them again. It's really good.
Gotcha.
Oh, and apparently there's some lore too.
Well, yeah, I'm sure after you kill the Queen of the Valkyries,
I mean, yeah, there's lore and all that, but I mean,
as he said, Locus in chat says it also tells you that Freya was a Valkyrie and that she is searching for her wings after you killed her son. Oh, so we might have a boss in the next game.
Was one of my favorite like parts of the game, thinking of story wise, when you kill Balder and she just looks at you like a mother and is like, I will stop at fucking nothing to see you pay for this over and over and over as many times. I was just like, yeah.
I'm surprised she walks away. And then it's even crazier. Like, and then Kratos and Atreus start having their talk, and you just see Freya holding Balder just walk away in the background, just into nothing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, that's gonna be good. By the way, quick thing we haven't talked about yet. What do you guys think of the last panel?
What do you mean by that?
The last panel.
I never found it, and I only had 10 of 11.
Oh, yeah. Well,
where it shows like Atreus holding Kratos who's dead, and it looks like the world serpent coming out of him.
Yeah,
it's something weird. It's basically just saying that like Kratos will die. That's something that's probably going to happen. Probably not in this next game. Maybe it's the one after that. But
yeah.
And it's not on a panel. It's on the wall of temple in Jotunheim, the giant's place. It's like a mural on the wall.
Oh, okay. I guess I just didn't
and it's the one that's covered. So only Kratos sees it. Like the thing blows up a little bit and Kratos looks behind it. And the thing that's weird is not that he's holding the dead Kratos, but I think it's the world serpent. There's some kind of thing coming out of Atreus as he's holding dead Kratos. And it looks to be like a snake creature thing, but I don't know if that lines up to some mythology. I know that Jormungandr, that's the name of the world serpent, right?
Something
I know
like
the world serpent has something to do with Ragnarok, like him and Thor battle and do something, but I didn't know that had anything to do with Loki.
Yeah. I think him letting go of his tail was the first, like one of the first signs. Just like us calling him up was one of the signs. And I was just like, so you mean to tell me throwing a knife into the lake, that's the first sign of Ragnarok? Like that's what's gonna start it.
Yeah.
The end of everything, I threw a knife into the lake. Okay.
Yeah, Loki actually gives birth to the world serpent.
Oh, so and then does he go back in time?
Yeah, because remember Thor fights him or whatever. It said that in the game.
They kind of play around with it.
In one of the panels where they're like Thor and the World Serpent fight, and he gets hit so hard by Thor that it knocks him back in time. And they like make a joke like that doesn't make any sense at all. I think is what that was. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
also I thought that was so fucking cool when you come back from Jotunheim. And it's like, it's been a long time, and like it's been snowing forever, and I was just like, this fucking Fimbulwinter, oh god, and Ragnarok's coming, motherfucker.
Yeah, that was really cool. I still think it happened so early on in the game. It was definitely the first sign to me that like this game was going to be something special, was when Balder shows up at your house and you have that fight in the very beginning against like the stranger or whatever the little name was at the bottom. I was like, this fight's like he just picked up a fucking tree and hit him with the tree, and then you got knocked back into your house and flew through the house and flew on the other side. I was like, this is pretty special.
This is gonna be a fun game.
That entire sequence was so awesome.
Also, I was a little worried that they might ruin the cinematics with QTEs. I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad QTEs. We finally have gone past the point. It's like, let me just enjoy the cutscene. You don't need me to hit square for me to enjoy the cutscene. Let me just sit back and enjoy this.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about how just incredibly amazing it is that the entire game is one take?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no loading. Well, okay. There's loading screens.
Right.
But they're hidden. Going on the elevator, that's a loading screen.
You still see your character the whole time. You can still move and interact with your character the entire time. That is a feat. Is there any other game that's done that?
I think there's a few.
There's probably a couple, but nothing to this magnitude and size.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I can't name any off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure there are some. But I do like the portions that are they're loading screens. Like when you go but the realm between realms, when you do your fast travel. I love that Mimir gives you a new story every time you do it.
That made that stuff perfect.
You take the boat, you take the fast travel. Mimir's got a new story for you. That was my favorite part.
It broke those parts up so that I was actually interested and paid attention to me going from point A to B, just because like Kratos was telling an awful story.
Oh, and I couldn't tell you how many times I stopped like short of docking on the shore just to let the story fucking finish.
Yeah, I did that too.
Yeah.
Just let them finish.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Which is something which is very strange in a game that you're like, I'm going here to do something. But in the meantime, there's like a filler story. I mean, filler in the best sense I could possibly say.
Yeah.
There's a filler story going on, and the filler is just as interesting as where you were going.
Yep. Yeah, it was all good. It was all good.
Now I'm just sad because now we're gonna have to wait 5 years for the next game.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like, I hope they take their time, just like they did with this one.
I will wait 5 years if we can get another one of those of that quality. Too, I would just say, you know what? Take your time. I'll wait. I'll wait.
Agree.
I would rather. I'd rather wait another 5 years to get another God of War like that than go like, hey guys, we have EA wants, or not EA, whatever. Sony wants us to release this now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. We're gonna make God of War BR.
I gotta throw in one thing real quick here.
Oh god.
I gotta throw in one thing. It could have been so easy for them to add microtransactions because of the way the gear and stuff works. Because we've seen with like how EA has been running their shit, single player games having time savers. And I'm just glad they didn't touch any of that. Everything's in the game. It's perfect from beginning to end. There's no like, hey, here's a hack silver pack for all your upgrades.
There's very little things that I can be like that. Like it's no game's perfect. No game could actually be perfect. But like this was a pretty good stab at like being a close to perfect game, I think.
I can't like, if I was to pick flaws about this game, I'd be nitpicking.
Yeah, yeah. I think you mentioned one already. The death like sequences are kind of all the same. Like, but the animation for those probably took about a month just to make that thing look the way it did. So I'm kind of okay with that. Like I respect how long and detailed everything took and looks throughout the game, but like death animations kind of sucked.
I will agree with chat though. More enemy variety would be nice in the.
I agree.
In the future installments.
Yes. The loot stuff was kind of like, I wouldn't say bad, but it was probably the worst system in the game, I feel. Especially when it came to crafting. Like, you didn't know if you should hoard. I think we talked about this last week, maybe. You didn't know if you should hoard stuff or if you should use it right away. Or like, it was kind of like,
I mean, to be fair, almost every dev that decides to throw these kind of RPG elements into this game, the first iteration is always terrible, like in some way or another. Yeah. And then the next iterations that come after that, it's usually pretty good. But their first jump into this, it's almost always like,
That being said,
one thing I wish that they would have done with the actual looting of the system is, instead of putting like hack silver in chests, just leave the hack silver laying there. If it's a chest, make it something pretty good, you know, like a common item, whatever. I don't care if it's like a green item, but if it's hack silver, just leave it on the ground. It's okay. We can miss that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was gonna say, that being said about the armor, I was really, one of my favorite things in games is when you get a new piece of armor or weapon, or even the pommels changed, that you get a new look and your character looks different because of a thing you just equipped. And I was super into all the different types of armor, super into like the pommels changing depending on if it was like one from Muspelheim, which would be like fiery and red, or if it was one from somewhere else, which have a different look to it, etc. Like all that stuff was awesome for me. yeah, I don't know. I think those are my final thoughts. If you guys have anything else you want to say about the game, feel free. Because I think we're over our hour.
Yeah, we're over time for the spoiler section.
Yeah.
Whoops.
It's fine. We were 15 minutes late, so technically it still hasn't been an hour.
Yeah, technically we were still okay. We can still talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sorry. I don't even feel bad for baiting the sips. I'm sorry, Co.
Do what?
No,
I said I don't even feel bad for baiting the sips.
Not at all. It's perfectly fine on a talk show. Co or Zeke, you guys want to add anything to the God of War discussion here to close it out? Final thoughts?
Loved it. Can't wait for more. Hoping the next one takes a little bit less time because they have the engine and everything down now. Also, they clearly know what they're doing now. It's no longer like exploratory. So I'm hoping the next one gets here a little bit quicker. That being said, can't wait to see where it goes. And this really did feel like the first chapter in a book. It didn't feel like a completed game at all. It felt like this is our new vision. This is just the first step. Like, buckle up. Yeah. And that's amazing. That's the best thing they could have done for a franchise reinvention. So pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what they do with like shit you haven't like that was hinted at or that you saw sort of in the lore and stuff like that. Like I want to see the wolves eat the sun and the moon. I want to see Fenrir like at the end of times. Like I want to see Odin bind Loki at the bottom of the earth with entrails.
Right.
Like there's a lot of lore that can be explored here. I'm really looking forward to like how they put it like into the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brew kind of mentioned this earlier. I want to see how the fuck Kratos got there. I want to see like what happened that led him to that place, and
especially
how he got
considering
there.
the end of 3. Like
right.
there's no connectivity.
He has a fucking hole through him. A person could fit inside the hole that's in Kratos' stomach at the end of 3. Like they did not fuck around.
How did he escape Athena? How did he escape all that stuff? Did Athena even make it? Like there's so much stuff we don't know yet.
He just went north, man.
Yeah, that's true.
He's that. He just walked north.
He just kept walking. He has the scar throughout the game of the giant sword through his chest, but they never touched on it really. So
there could be a whole prequel. They could do an entire prequel game at this point, and it would probably be just fine. Him escaping his realm.
I would hope they don't.
I would hope not.
I would hope they don't. But
yeah.
Seriously, I would love to know how he met his wife, how that transpired. What did they do together to get them to the point where they were wanting to have a son and actually raise a son in that world? How did that rune thing get set up around their house? How did the woman know all the shit was gonna like? There's so much. They could easily do a prequel to this game.
When a god loves a giant very much.
He shrinks down to manageable size, and then they have fun. Exactly. Okay, is that how that works? Because I gotta say, if she was actually a giant, then we might have some problems.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
That might be a little weird.
Yeah.
Can you feel anything yet?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
No, he's just sitting there at the clit.
Jesus.
Thank you for putting words to what I was alluding to, Zeke. I appreciate
it. Baru, any final thoughts here after?
I don't really have. Okay. No, we'll end on that.
Okay.
Speed begging his giant wife's clitoris. Jesus. We'll just stop right there.
We'll end on that one.
Please don't. Please, can we end on something better than that? Because I don't want to be that guy.
You've ruined it. You've ruined it. Everything, Zeke. You've ruined everything.
It's a great game. I want the next one. That's really it.
Yeah.
It gave me good game depression.
Yeah.
After I finished, I was just like, man, I don't know what I want to do.
Yeah.
Did anyone among us 100% like get everything? Like do the platinum?
Baru did. Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
You know, all the ravens, the tedious like raven stuff.
Everything. I got the little platinum that says, "Hey, you did everything. Good job."
I'm not like, I'm not calling you a liar or anything. I'm just saying like that's fucking tedious. I'm saying the Raven Hunt is kind of a bitch.
I hate that in any game. Like that's not even God of War related. Any game that's like, hey, we hit a whole bunch of 900 Korok seeds all over the world.
Yeah.
You want to go find them?
That stuff's really
no.
Never been.
And then you complete it, and they're like, you know what we think about your time? Golden pile of shit. Yeah. How do you feel now? Was it worth your time?
Yeah, Brew, did you get anything for finding all the ravens besides the platinum trophy? Did they give you anything for doing that? Oh,
no,
that's tough.
No, you don't get anything. You get a little trophy that says, "Hey, well done."
That sucks.
You can put a little sticker on the fridge.
Yeah,
a little star.
I honestly was.
I'm at. How many are there? 51.
Yeah.
There's 52.
Or
52. Yeah, I'm at 41 and 52, and it's a fucking. I'm just eating dinner with one controller in my hand, like I gotta go to this next place and find the last raven.
That's one of the great things I love about chat. I was just like, listen, chat, this is your moment to literally just tell me exactly where everything is. I don't want to go look for this. This is your time to back seat. Like you've never wanted to back seat before.
Yeah. Zeke, are you 100%ing? Co was asking. You said you were.
Yeah, it's gonna be like I beat the game and then I didn't know if I was gonna pick it up again because like you, JP, I go like, oh man, I should 100% this, and then once the game is over, you're like, I don't need to.
That's why. Yeah, that's why I haven't gone and done that extra scene.
Picked back up again, and I played it for like 3 hours last night, just doing random shit that I like, finding legendary chests that I missed, or hitting ravens. Like seriously, like finding 3 ravens took me like an hour.
Yeah.
Just because I had my headphones in and I was just like
cruising,
listening for that that fucking screech that they make.
Yeah.
Which was nice of them to put that in the game. At least there's some sort of signal.
Yeah, I agree. Well, cool. That's God of War. We got like 15 minutes, so I think, Brew, you want to talk Stardew co-op? Because I think me and you touched on that. It should be a pretty short convo, but...
that'll be a very short convo. In fact, I can sum it up to like one sentence.
What's that? What's your one sentence on Stardew Valley co-op?
It's Stardew.
Stardew. What am I saying?
It's Stardew Valley, but with a friend.
Oh! I thought I was saying it wrong.
Really nothing different.
I thought I was saying it wrong.
It's like, did you play it? Yeah. It's the same, but
did you play the original? Were you a fan of or not the original? Did you play it already?
Yeah,
a long time ago.
I played it when it first like came out, and as I guess you could say 100% it. I honored Grandpa in the way that he wanted, because I know when it first came out, it was like, if you didn't do all this thing, Grandpa shows up on year 3 and he's like, your farm shit.
Yeah,
you're terrible.
But
yeah, it's a very boring game, and once you've played through that boring game, you're like, man, I really thought I was gonna get nostalgic. I'm not. I should not have done this.
Yeah. So my experience was I quit about 30 or 40 minutes into my I couldn't even call it a playthrough. I quit after playing for 30 or 40 minutes ago, like a year or 2 ago, whenever it first came out. And then playing co-op, I actually got past. I feel like there's like a point of no return almost, in terms of you can't just stop playing now because you're already so invested in farming every single day. And like co-op got me through that. I was playing with someone who had played Day 9, who had been playing it a lot. And I don't know if he ever finished a run through it, but playing with a friend actually had me more invested in the game than I ever thought. I enjoyed it a lot, which was kind of depressing because I was like, maybe I'll just continue playing this off stream. I didn't, thank God, or I'd probably still be farming right now. But if you didn't enjoy it, I guess for viewers, if you didn't enjoy it the first time around solo, it's pretty good with friends. Like, it's a fun game to just.
I will say it's definitely a good game.
Yeah.
It was just for me personally. I was like, it's co-op's out. I want to play this. I want to play this again. So I played with Richard Hammer. And the thing is, we had already both played the game
right
when it first came out. We both did everything. So it's like coming back to the game that you already 100%. Like,
I could see that.
Could you see yourself coming back to God of War with, let's say it had co-op? Could you see yourself playing through God of War 100% again after already 100%ing it?
Probably.
And it's the same thing.
No, I see what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Just one additional person.
I played through the game twice back to back, but yeah.
yeah. I see what the point you're trying to make. Yeah,
completely. So wait, that being said, Brew, didn't they add some new stuff in the patch though? Like, weren't there some new locations?
It's very minor stuff. I wouldn't really call it like a content upgrade. It's just like, you know, there's a couple extra things to do here and there at the very end of the game, but the majority of the game is still the same.
One of the things that Sean was saying is new was that you can go to your bed during the day and you'll just like slowly regen energy. Yeah.
He said before it was just like, hey, are you out of energy? That sucks.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of big.
Yeah, he was kind of upset at that because he said it like cheapened the idea of planning your day, because you could just go out, blow a ton of energy, and then go sit in your bed for 3 hours and be back to like 70%. And so it kind of took away from that at all. But from someone who had never played it that long, it didn't really bother me. So I'm curious, Brew, is someone who had played a lot. Does that bother you at all? That they kind of like,
I mean, it doesn't really bother me. I mean, it definitely does make the game easier, but we also played on like when we did the co-op, we lowered our profit. You can lower your profit margins because you're gonna have more people. Yeah. So you can just decide, hey, I'd rather not be making the same exact income with 4 people, and you can lower it to like 25%. So we did that to like compensate for it, because like the thing is, if you have 4 people in a game and you don't adjust the profit margins, you're going to be rich after the first week. You're going to have everything, and you're going to be bored.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because you're going to have everything that you could possibly buy, and you're just like, what do I do now?
Yeah, we played at 75 for 2 of us, so I could see if you play with 4, 25% probably makes more sense. But yeah, it's still Stardew. I think you kind of nailed it. Like, they didn't really change too much. But I think if you've never played
it's not bad.
Yeah, if you've never played
if you never played it,
grab some
definitely
friends.
Get it.
Yeah.
If you have a friend, it's definitely enjoyable. But
I will say,
going back to it for the sake of co-op, I don't know.
I will say, be very careful on deciding who the host is, because to play that game, that host has to recreate, correct? You don't get the save game if you join someone else's game? Okay.
The host is the one with the save file.
Yeah.
So if you decide, hey, the host can't make it today, well, then I guess nobody's playing.
Yeah. Yeah, that would suck. So that's it. It's still beta, right? Like we had a couple bugs. Did you guys run into any like monumental bugs?
Oh, I ran into like a very weird bug. I don't know where it is in the. There might be a clip of it, but like I went to go fill in my crab pots, and they just like missing node out of existence. They started cycling through every single image of the game, and then just disappeared. And I was just like, oh,
nice.
That's a neat little bug. Nice. I don't know where it went. That's cool.
We had a couple of
I'm
desync
sure someone
issues.
can find the clip of that one, but it's...
Yeah. We had a couple of desync issues where I would be like fishing or something, but on Sean's screen, I was up in the mountains somehow. And
yeah,
then, like,
we had that as well.
The next animation that I did in game, I would like pop to the right place. But there wasn't anything like super game breaking. So
yeah, there wasn't anything crazy. There's a couple of crashes. I would say the crab pot thing's the weirdest little bit.
Yeah. Well, cool. That's the Stardew Valley co-op. It's completely free. All you gotta do is go type in a little thing in the beta section of the file or of Steam, and it'll just automatically download it. So
yeah, it's like jumping Junimos or something like that.
Yeah. There's a dev blog on whatever the Stardew Valley devs page. You can Google it. It's all over the place.
It's weird that a public beta has a code. I don't know. I sometimes just find that weird. Just like, why not just have it?
I kind of like how they did that though, because you don't have to download a second version of it, right? Like I feel like that's the most elegant solution for it.
But I mean, like I think like Slay the Spire, I think you'd literally just click down and you're in the beta. You don't have to like put in a code.
In the executable itself, you're saying, like in the actual game?
Yeah, you just change one little thing and you're in the beta.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's something bad has happened. That's the clip.
Oh. Here, let me see it. We'll watch it real quick just to see the bug in action. All right.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing. So I come down here.
Richard Hammer looks exactly like he does in game.
Yeah, he made himself look exactly. Yeah, so I just start filling up my crab pots, and they're just like. That's why I said, and then they just kind of like missing no out of existence, and it was just like, oh, yeah, that's. Yeah, they're gone.
Nice, beautiful.
I have to admit, Baru, this is one of the few times I really wish you had a face cam on for that.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen just like what the reaction was to that event.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure, is there any volume with that? Like what?
Yeah, there's volume to that.
My God, it's just a few of them did it, or a few of them are okay. Wow, what a weird bug, man.
It's so weird. Something is very
what a weird bug.
Something bad.
That really
weird.
is like all the stuff you can get in the crab traps and a whole lot more too from the looks of it.
Yeah, there's like so many random things. It was just cycling through a bunch of images. I was so confused. My favorite part is, I don't know why, but like I did one, it started doing that. I noticed it and I was just like, I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna just do all the crab pots, and then I was just like, yep, that's a thing. But you mentioned the face cam. I actually kind of like the fact that people can't see the reaction. Sometimes they have to like think about what it's going to be, and sometimes dead silence does work very well with not having a camera. You're just like, huh,
it's true.
That's interesting.
Not only that, you have a fantastic emote for it in Rue Blank. That's like the perfect just.
I'm trying to see did we got like 10 minutes to fill or 5 minutes to fill. Did Twitch ever post anything about the bounty board, or was that just picked up by everyone else?
I saw the bounty board thing. I don't, outside of the email, I don't think they've posted anything.
I mean,
that's a big old red flag to me.
It was
I'm not touching any of that.
Big old red flag. Yeah.
Oh yeah, here it is.
I mean, here's the
customer thing.
The part about, well, do we want to start talking about this now, JP? Or
yeah, we told the cam. It doesn't matter. Okay. We started late, cool. So it's fine. They hit the 1 hour.
The only thing about the bounty board that is very concerning is there are reasons that there are companies like OP Group and Loaded and people that know what they're talking about that sit between the talent, the streamer, and the provider, the company. A lot of us need that in between, because we're not business people. We're not business minded. We don't know how to give ourselves value or establish that value or sell that value. And the bounty board is Twitch's way of cutting that middleman out. There is nothing between company, Twitch, and streamer. Nothing. So, I mean, obviously it's an opt-in system. So, you don't have to do anything, and that's cool. But what's going to happen is a lot of people that don't know better are going to look at the bounty board, see the prices there, which, to put it bluntly,
they're like, oh, I streamed this game anyway.
Yeah, like exactly. And then they're going to take these bounties. And then the thing you have to remember is, for every bounty a streamer takes, Twitch is making out on that. Like that's just how it works. That's how all things work. Even when you use a middleman like OP Group, the middleman and the company is making out. But the problem is, or the thing is, with the middleman, they're just going to make sure you're at least getting.
You're being compensated for your time.
Yeah.
But it's like, we can't get into those kind of rates and everything, but we can just say $100. Twitch is making a lot of money off that.
Just go ahead and add a figure level. Like,
here's a random fact.
You see on that bounty board, add an extra place for a number, and that's probably what Twitch.
Here's a random fact that I saw yesterday. If you can play Call of Duty for an hour and make $100, this has nothing to do with Twitch, but it shows you the size comparison. The Rock, very large person, can tweet for $1 million. A single tweet from The Rock is $1 million. So you can kind of see where that goes in terms of how popular you get.
Now, again, though, here's that. What I just said was like the dark side of it.
Sure.
But there's two things about it. First of all, when a streamer gets to a certain level, I think the bounty board is not meant for larger streamers, specifically for the reasons we're talking about now.
Yeah.
Now, the flip side of this is that when I was a growing streamer, when I had 500 subs and every single sub was like, you are the difference between me having to have a job or not, something like this would have been awesome, where it's just like, hey, I need to pay rent this month, so I'm going to spend the next couple weeks on the bounty board.
Because I mean,
that's awesome. But the only thing is that needs to be I still feel there should be like pages of disclaimers with this stuff. And most importantly, I think people should understand, you're not getting a great rate on the bounty board. The bounty board is never designed to work for the streamer. It's designed to help you, but there's no question you would be getting better deals and better compensation if you had someone that knew what they were talking about interfacing with those people.
Totally.
So,
because I mean, yeah, same. Let's say you had the same streamer playing the same game, you could get a better rate. You definitely could. And I like the fact that smaller streamers can get support without having to, because I mean, I'm pretty sure any streamer can agree with this. We would rather take money out of, companies' pockets rather than our viewers, because I mean, they're already helping us a ton with what they do. And we would love to be able to like support ourselves without just drawing more out of our viewers. So
yeah,
this is a good thing, but at the same time, this bounty born is terrible.
It can set a really bad precedent. It can set a terrible precedent.
That's the biggest thing. Like if Twitch starts trying to funnel their big deals through a bounty board system, like, hey, we would have talked to your manager, but instead go check out our bounty board. If that ever happens, that's where it's going to become a problem. That's where it's going to be like, so you're trying to get me to go around the people that are supposed to know and fight on my behalf. You want me to avoid them to work with this system? That's where it's going to get a little weird.
I agree.
I like that in the if you scroll down just a little bit, it's stop at the box art of Call of Duty. There you go. If your peak does not hit typical numbers, you'll get a proportional percentage of the payout. So if you do a sponsored stream and it doesn't do as well, you get fucking nailed. So it's like if you get like 80% of the viewers, you get $80.
You know what the worst?
Oh yeah,
that's really fucked up.
Like, hey guys, I want to make a quick $100. You guys want to just here's what I need y'all to do. Just keep my tab open. I'm gonna play this. Please stay.
I gotta admit, I really don't like that first line. I mean, it's kind of a given, but at the same time, don't disparage the brand. Like, what if you take one of these things and 20 minutes in, you decide you're really not enjoying it, and then all of a sudden you've got 40 minutes of lies that you have to work through, like that.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
I also like that they give you $100 to play a $60 game. Like,
does it? Hold on. Does it
get the game?
Does it give you a code when you activate this? Is that said anywhere?
Actually, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it is Call of Duty. It's Activision. They never lower their prices, so it's like, man, I'm gonna make. So let's see. I'm gonna spend $60 on this game. I'm gonna probably lose about 40% of my viewers.
Saying it says in the box. It says it gives you the key in the box.
It does.
Okay.
Game key included with bounty activation.
Okay.
After bounty activation.
I didn't see that yet.
Cool.
That's good. And honestly, again, that actually is even another great reason for smaller streamers, because, well, now wait, this is where it gets a little bit weird, because what this means is that you could take a bounty for a game you don't own, so they're asking you to represent a game favorably you've never played.
Right. It's weird.
Yeah.
The other thing too is look at the games that are on here. I thought these games were interesting. There's Escape from Tarkov, Smite, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Super Mario Odyssey, Tom Clancy's The Division, FIFA 18, Destiny 2, RuneScape, and Grand Theft Auto 5.
RuneScape?
Yeah.
RuneScape.
Stream RuneScape for 1 hour is $100. According to this, I don't know if these
that's drastically underpriced. If I were going to stream RuneScape, you'd have to pay me a fuckload more than that.
Time to go fish some lobsters, boys.
They don't give you just like. Can you only take one bounty? Is there limits and stuff?
I don't know how. I don't know.
I don't think they ever stated if there's like a limit.
If I'm a RuneScape streamer, could I just go take like a bounty every hour? Can I just like? I'm going to be doing it anyway.
There are RuneScape streamers that are just, how. Because I mean, I've had sponsored streams before for games that I was already going to play, like for Mario Rabbids.
Yeah,
it's so weird sometimes. The transition is like, hey guys, it's 2 p.m. I'm gonna keep playing this, but now I'm sponsored to play it. And then 2 hours later, all right, that was the sponsored section. I'm gonna keep playing though.
So
I was going to do this anyway.
I kind of feel like, so I'm reading the FAQ here. How many bounties can I do at once? Can I have one bounty in progress at any given time during the closed beta? Can I do the same bounty again? No, you can only complete a specific bounty once.
It is one per game.
Yeah. Okay. Can I stream longer to earn money? No. So I kind of feel like if I'm a streamer that, 100 viewers, And I have access to this
Does it
bounty
say minimum
board.
viewers, by the way?
No, but it does say, like Zeke was saying, if your peak does not hit the typical numbers, you will get proportional percentage of your payout. So I guess these are only going to be activated to numbers that they want for this.
I mean, yeah, they'd have to. They're probably going to be a minimum of some kind. Like they might just make it so it's minimum partner or something like that. Because I mean, they can't open it up to just every affiliate because we've gone over this before.
Yeah,
it's not that hard to get.
I think it's only open.
They're going to lose so much money.
Only partners in the U.S. are eligible to participate right now in the closed beta.
There you go. Yep, yeah, cool. Okay.
But I was going to say, if I'm someone that gets like 100 viewers, I would just do a bounty board day, and for 10 hours, just pick a different one.
You could totally do that.
And just play every single game and be like, all right,
you could be like, be like, hey guys, one day a month, I'm just gonna do the bounty board. Let's just go take a look at it. You hit up every single game, and you just make it a game with your chat. You know, it's like, hey guys, it's like a really long sponsored stream once, and like, let's say you take every single game that's there. As a smaller streamer with 100 viewers, $1,000 in your pocket would be real nice.
That's not bad for a month.
Here's how it works,
right? Like,
there's creative selling out, which that's a great way to do it. Absolutely, make selling out fun. That's enjoyable, right? But then there's also, like, that brings up an interesting idea. What if you had a bounty day, Baru, and then you took every penny you made from it and either did a charity or giveaway for it? Like, you could have a lot of fun with this system
that would piss
and not actually sell out, which would be awesome.
That could actually be fun. You know, that could actually be fun. Have a bounty day, and 100% of it just
That's what just be like, how much we make today? Okay, and a big giveaway at the end of the stream. It's like, congrats, you know, you guys slogged through this with me.
Yeah, part of me wants to be
even
like,
if you did half and half, like, that'd still be huge.
Part of me wants to be like, that's what big streamers should do with this, is just do all the bounties and then just donate to a charity once a month. But then again, the companies still win in that regard. They wouldn't fucking care at the end of the day. So
the companies still win, but it's like,
I'd love to know. I'd love to know whoever the product manager of this is at Twitch. I would love to know, like, what size of streamer they're targeting with this. Like, because
now here's a question. Yeah. Do different streamers that look at this page have different bounties? If I went to this bounty page,
does say
I don't even know if I'm in the beta, but let's assume that I was. Would I get $100 an hour? Is that my rate? Is that everyone's rate?
I don't think the rates change, but it said
I don't think the rates,
because my rate is 15,000 an hour.
Right.
So just saying. We may need
to it went up from 12 last time.
I'm kidding. But no, like, that would be like, I wonder if they have bounty board specific, but here's the thing. If they don't, then how does that make any sense? Like, if is a person that's going to average 2,000 viewers going to have the same as someone who averages 500 is the same that a partner that averages 100? Or, like, is it adjusted based on viewership? So that $100
it says right here. Hold on. It says, how are my payouts rates set for bounties? Payout rates are initially calculated by factoring in the brand, your historical viewership metrics, and geographic location. You will receive the full payout for meeting the concurrent viewership required, while receiving a partial payout if you don't meet the requirement. After Bounty Board has been running for a while and we have more data, we'll start considering things like reliability, i.e. successful completion of bounties you activated, and engagement in your audience. Our goal is to continue to optimize the program so that you're rewarded for your influence.
So you can get less but not more.
Yeah, I guess.
So in other words, if I do a bounty to 500 people and my average is 500, then I will get $100. If I do a bounty to 5,000 people, but my average is 4,000, I'd still get $100 from this.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it says that, like, in the future, if you're good at these, you could get more. Is how I read that. But as it currently states, you can't. You can only get less. Yeah. Now, my question is, like, let's say it's based off $100. Like, let's just say that's the flat starting, and I decide to take a bounty, and I averaged, the 7,000 viewers, and it goes a little bit under. So it's just like it goes to 5,000 or whatever. Am I now getting paid the 70? It's only 5,000 now, guys. Yeah. Only 5,000 viewers. You only get $70.
I'm not sure. I think this one is kind of the oddest to me. How will you verify that I've completed the bounty? We'll use the stream title, game, and past broadcast to verify bounty completion. Before you begin a bounty, update your stream title, blah, blah, blah. But, like, that's not judging the content. Like a lot of the sponsored streams, at least that I do, the people that are involved in like setting up the sponsored stream will either watch or the manager of the deal will watch the broadcast to be like, hey, all right, that's great. You did everything you needed to do. Thanks for watching. This is like fully automated, it seems.
Yeah, it does look like it's going to be automated.
Yeah, with the amount of partners
could you just like
being like 20,000 for last TwitchCon, how are you going to manage, you know, let's cut that in half, 10,000 partners doing a bounty board. Like, that's kind of crazy. That's a lot of eyes.
Are you just going to be able to like have the game up? Like, let's say I just launched some Destiny 2 in the background and I just sit here and take a nap. But as long as my concurrent viewership is fine, I can just write sponsored on my forehead and go to sleep.
Yeah. Or what if you just
they wouldn't be able to tell the difference because unless they're manually checking every video.
What if you just record yourself someday and then just play a video with the stream title and everything updated? Like, is that, do you still complete the bounty? Like,
can you pre-record the content, then like, throw it up and then be like, hey guys.
Like these are a lot of very good and very valid questions.
Like, how does that work? I would just, like we were talking about how just doing it a day. Maybe a partner broadcaster still has a normal job, has to work 9 to 5, but one weekend he records for 10 hours and then just does that on a night after he's done working his normal job or after they're done working the normal job. Like, do they care at that point? Because you're still streaming it, and if you're still getting the viewership, then who fucking cares? But like,
another thing that is really weird. Crazy to think about is think about, you know, we're all career streamers here. Your numbers are different when you start your stream. They are different based on what game you play. Yeah. Like, are they expecting us to game the system to make sure our numbers are adequate for like the 1 hour that we stream this game? Because if you just fire up your stream to do one of these sponsored events, you'll probably never make numbers. Not in the first hour.
Yeah, like the first hour is where you like start gaining your viewership because people get notifications that come into your channel.
My viewership crests at like 2.5, 3 hours every day. It takes me hours of slow build up to get to my viewer max. I
don't think that's just you. I think that's just most streamers in general.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
They usually peak around the second or third hour of their stream. So if you start with it, there ain't no way in hell you're going to hit your average. That won't happen, period.
Yeah.
Because after that first hour, you're still gaining your viewership of people getting the notifications. So it's like,
and what's even worse is when what happens when you switch games?
Yeah.
Your numbers drop.
You always drop.
That's just part of the game because then you have you lose audience from one and you get
People come here to watch. They want to see that specific thing happen. They want to see that game. They don't want to see the other game, and that's fair. That's how Twitch works.
That's exactly. It's just how it works. So it's like, how do they? I mean, literally, the amount of viewers that you leave from switching games can take over an hour to balance out. Let alone start going back up with the new game. So I mean, the more I think about this system, the more honestly, the more red flags I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to be?
Would a host count?
That's what I was just thinking about. If you throw in host to this, no. Here's what you do: you get a bunch of smaller streamers that all have access to the same bounties, and then once a week, like 7 days, 7 streamers, 6 streamers host that one person for one day, 6 streamers host the person for the next day. Then you just have the viewership to be like, oh, we're good.
Now, I will say this. We know for a fact that back in the day, whenever partners would try to do that host thing that we all were worried about when hosting first came out, Twitch would see that and straight up say no. In fact, I remember Elohim's brother for the longest time was trying to get partnership, and people were hosting him, and he was like double the numbers for partnership. And Twitch responded and said, look, here's the deal. You have great numbers, but we see that you're hosting them. So we're going to need your base numbers to be up, people in your channel, before we do anything. I'm guessing it's going to be the same with this.
Yeah, probably so.
I imagine it would be.
Yeah.
But I got to say,
it would still, I mean, if it's an automated system, it may not be because the partnership is not an automated system. You know, there's somebody that still says yes, no.
Right.
I'm pretty sure. I think.
Probably. I would hope so. Zeke, what were you going to say?
I got to say that I really don't think, I mean, okay, maybe it's more of a question. do you think they'll be watching this that closely if the contract is agreed to? Because honestly, $100 is fucking peanuts to these people.
Okay, here's the thing, Zeke. An article that recently came out from a developer was very poignant in what they said about the people that they paid to play their game. In how it didn't line up properly. And here's the thing: when you see those peanut numbers, you have to remember there are real companies giving Twitch large amounts of money to be able to offer these bounties to hundreds to thousands of people. So even though the bounties look small on our end, this is probably 5+ figures that's going into Twitch. So these companies are going to be going to Twitch and saying, what's going on with the money we spent? What am I getting back for this?
Yep.
What do you think is going to happen the first time one of those companies sees the sleeper on stream? The guy that tries to get his $100 by just sleeping through the game. What do you think that company's going to say to Twitch? So I'll tell you right now, they're thinking of ways to get around that. And they're thinking of ways where they can get that streamer in trouble instead of them.
I agree.
CYA, man. It's a thing.
I agree. Yeah. There's countless issues with this.
It does feel like it's going to be more trouble than it's worth. If I can just be honest.
Not when you see how much money Twitch is making.
Well, okay. I guess with the money Twitch is making, I guess.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a nightmare though. I know that.
Every single one of those bounties you see on that board, 5 to 6 figures on Twitch's backend.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do the bounties the first day.
Well, we never know. You never know how many actual bounties are going to, or sorry, how many? I guess that's right. How many bounties per posting will actually exist? So if it's gonna be 100 people are able to do Call of Duty for $100, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, it's probably a large amount of money for sure. It just seems like it honestly.
If they're offering $100 an hour to thousands of people, think about how much money that is.
I'd be very surprised if it's 1,000. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
The bounty, as far as I know, the bounty board eventually has plans to be public to partners. Like they're not. It's going to be like a marketplace kind of system.
Right.
So.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Twitch is only going to offer up as much money as they're getting for it, for the bounties, right? So we never really know how many. I guess someone can just track to be like, hey, Call of Duty had X bounties streamed in May, and then we'll know.
That brings up an interesting question. Was there anything on that bounty board that said there was a limit to bounties?
There is.
Eventually a bounty would expire, and there would be no more bounties. Oh, there are.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a limit.
There you go.
So
cool.
We'll just never really know, which is kind of crazy.
We'll never have access to that info.
Yeah, we are due for a break, but I do want to mention this because I'm glad that they're finally sunsetting the channel feed and Pulse. I'm glad it's finally gone.
Oh, thank God.
So much into that.
Yeah, but now our front page is not going to be a jumbled piece of shit, you know? It's not going to be squeezed all over the place.
So I didn't like it. I'm glad they're getting rid of it. That's just me. I'm glad. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm not sad to see Pulse go, but I'm sad to see the years and years of development that went into it just thrown away.
Totally.
I mean, that obviously sucks. I mean, the hard work that they put into it. Yeah, the time and effort, that sucks, but
yeah.
The actual system was not that great.
They say it wasn't. Removing these features will be a 1 to 2 month long process, which will begin in mid-May 2018. Here's kind of why they're moving this stuff. Let me see what they say.
And to think they could have put 2 years into making chat a decent experience and not requiring BTTV or FFC, or a messaging system that wasn't from the late 90s. Or
I'm still confused, man, about the chat experience. Like, I sometimes wonder if they just they don't improve upon it because you could use BTTV or FFC, whichever one you like. There's so many things in both of those systems that it's just like, why not? Because I mean, I hate the dark mode of basic Twitch. It's not dark mode. It's make everything awkwardly purple mode. It looks terrible. It's not an actual dark mode.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. The dark mode of Better Twitch TV, I got so used to how it was dulled and muted. It was grays and blacks, which is what I want because I don't want the bright white flashing on my face. And then I, changed to the Twitch dark mode, and it's just like, It's not quite. The color palette's not quite what I want.
We're Twitch. Everything has to be purple, including the dark mode.
Yeah.
Right.
The other, can we put whispers back in the fucking chat? So I don't have to go to a fucking other window, please.
Yeah,
it's
that'd be
the
nice.
easiest.
I haven't been in both places. Is that an FFC thing?
No, the whispers don't go in the normal chat box anymore. As far as I mean,
oh, they do on FFC.
Am I silly? Am I stupid?
I mean, I use it on Twitch, and I think it does. Maybe.
Oh, use FFZ, man. FFZ is so much better.
I just messaged you, Zeke, and no whispers popped up at all, unless you clicked in the conversation list in the bottom right hand.
No,
corner.
because there's like isn't there like a message that pops up? Please use the whisper window.
It actually just said that when I tried to send it to JP.
Okay, good. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Huh?
I think it's dumb because I use that to give out game keys when I give them away.
That's how my mods handle it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's how every streamer
I don't want to have to use a fucking separate window. Just put it back in the fucking put it back in the chat. Why'd they take it out of the chat? Yeah. There has to be a reason. Oh, yeah, I don't know what it is, but fuck it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know with the legacy chat. Well, maybe that's why it was working because I'd use legacy chat for the longest time because the new one broke FFZ. Right. So I wasn't restarting my computer for like 4 days because legacy. I didn't want to close legacy chat because I knew that I couldn't get it back.
Nice.
I tell you, man, chat is such a mess on Twitch. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could tell they're
I want them to use like the higher res images for emotes too.
Yeah. That's been something we've been asked about for the longest time. But I think a lot of Twitch, at least what I've always heard, a lot of Twitch is like the reason that they can't do stuff is because the platform was built a certain way. And it's not like they can just take X out and put Y in and not break like, everything. Right. So,
it's like, you had this building, you started on the first floor. And they just kept like adding floors to it, and the upper floors look really nice.
Yeah,
because they were building on top of it. It's just like they want to change the first and second floor now, and that's going to be awkward.
Yep. That's a good way of putting it. So it sucks. I hope one day they're just like, by the way, we're just changing literally everything, and here it is, and everyone's like, oh, this is actually good job, and it's not like, oh, fuck.
By the way. JP, I got a real quick news thing to mention before we go on break.
Okay. Hit me.
They announced Borderlands 3, Rage 2, Gears of War 5, a new Assassin's Creed, and all this stuff in a Walmart leak about 3 hours ago.
I heard about that.
Wait. Go back.
I know, right? No, quick, go to break.
Wait, no, go back.
3 spoilers. We'll talk about it after this.
Okay. So basically what happened is that Walmart Canada put up a page completely erroneously, and they put up a bunch of games that apparently was supposed to be the thread after E3. Now, there is some communication issues going on because Walmart tweeted that they didn't actually do it, and then someone said that it was like a troll thing, and then it was unconfirmed. But now, if you go to the official Rage Twitter, they actually quoted the Walmart people as a joke saying what they got wrong about the announcement. So now a lot of people are like, wait, so this stuff is actually like, what's going on here? Because now we have like this little confirmation. So in the thing, they had like a bunch of games, like all sorts of things.
You said Borderlands 3, right?
I said Borderlands 3. I sure freaking did. Yes, I did.
Wait, Rage 2?
Hey, Rage 2. Can you John Goodman may be back. There's a lot of stuff in there. Yeah.
I'm shaking now. You set the game that I'm kind of waiting on.
Here it is. Yep, this is it right here. This is it. You have to zoom in to read some of it.
Yeah, I can't. It's an image, so I can't. Like if I.
You have to actually hold control and mouse wheel up.
Well, I mean that's. Yeah, it's gonna break. That's as far as you can go. I can just read them out. Division 2, Splinter Cell, Insurgency, Sandstorm, Last of Us 2, Just Cause 4, WWE 2K19.
Oh, the Final Fantasy 7 remakes in there too.
I would, because gotta get there if you let me keep reading. PS4, Assassin's Creed, Dragon Quest 2.
NBA 2K19's in there too.
Already said that one. Far Cry. What is that? Far Cry 5 XXL Silver Bars add-on? I guess that's DLC.
It's money from in-game.
Oh, okay. Just Cause 4 Destiny comment. Xbox One. That's a new game. Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Metroid Prime 4. Was that? Oh, they're showing that this year. That was already announced, though.
Yeah, that's already announced.
Yeah, Super Smash Bros., Borderlands 3, Assassin's Creed, Destiny coming again, Lego DC Villains, Beyond Good and Evil 2, Rage 2, Dreams, and that's it. So the only like big ones,
Gears
I guess,
of War 5 is on the bottom there.
Is it?
Yeah, there's a bar under. There's some stuff under there too.
Oh yeah. Forza.
I like how one of the ones in the bottom left, they're God of Warring it with Assassin's Creed now. It's just Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Like there's not even like a colon or anything. It's just
they probably don't have the full name for it.
I hate that so much about games. God of War 1, or sorry,
well,
God of War, God of War 2,
placeholder.
God of War 3, God of War.
I'd be very surprised if that's the full name. But yes, I do agree.
And as people are saying in chat, Forza 5 is on there. 4 hasn't even released yet.
No.
Can we? Is it? Are video games 80 Canadian dollars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Canadian
Yeah.
are different. Yeah.
Well, I know they're not that different though. They're not like that much percentage different. Jesus Christ! I'm sorry, Canada. That sucks.
Yeah, they've always been more expensive. That's a typo. That should be
Well, I know,
Forza
but they're not,
Motorsport
like...
5, not Horizon. Because yeah, you're right. Horizon hasn't come out for
I'm still just like
Forza Motorsport 5. Oh, is that? I didn't know that's a different. I'm not a racer, so apparently that's a different product or something. I'm not sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're different.
Cool. But yeah, Borderlands 3, Rage 2, like that. I mean, those are the two hyped for me.
Man,
maybe we'll actually make a good Rage this time.
Like the moment there's an actual announcement on that, I'm gonna go nuts. Like that's where my channel started and everything. It's just like,
yeah,
that game is.
That's
I need it.
That would be a Bethesda really product, right?
Borderlands 2 run like a month ago, didn't you?
Yeah, like I decided to load up Borderlands 2 just because I felt like it, and we had like 14,000 people. It was great. And it's just like, I know as soon as Borderlands 3 launches, it's gonna be it's gonna be fun.
Where does Borderlands show up at E3? What panel is that? That's
it'll probably show up at Microsoft.
Be Microsoft?
Because I think there was an article that Microsoft bought something with 2K or something like that.
Okay.
I believe. I could be wrong though. Either way, I'm very excited now. I'm happy.
Yeah,
I got like this big grin on my face.
When was Borderlands? When did Borderlands the prequel come out? That's the most recent. That was a long time
2016?
ago, right? Not too long.
I think it was 2016, but I mean it was made by a company in Australia. It really wasn't a Borderlands game. It was just like, hey, here's Borderlands, just do something with it.
Yeah.
It really wasn't a true. It was 2014? No way.
It was a while ago. I remember.
No way.
Borderlands 3 sequel is the Assassin's Creed Unity of the Borderlands universe, where they took the universe and they just wanted to put stuff in it to make more money in a game, and they just like churned it out quickly, and there it was.
That makes
sense. Didn't move the franchise forward in any way. Nothing really new. Nothing really interesting. Just more to make money. And it's unfortunate because honestly, the Borderlands franchise was better than that, and it was one of the few franchises that was really better than that, and also wasn't big enough to eat that kind of thing because a lot of people got turned off from Borderlands from it. So I'm hoping 3 like brings everyone back. I
really am hoping that 3 is, like the labor of love that we're all hoping that it's going to be, because I mean 2 really felt like it had a lot in it. I could talk about Borderlands forever. We're about to go on break.
Yeah, we're due for a break, but I agree. I hope they took their time. I hope we're talking about like, man, they Assassin's Creed this one. They really went back. They God award this one. This is a great game. They really took their time. Blah blah blah. I hope that's what we're saying. But we'll probably talk about that more during E3. But let's take a break, and we'll come back, and we got Pillars of Eternity 2 to talk. We got Indie Week with Zeke. Well, have you been saying that, Zeke? It all rhymes, by the way. You should.
Indie Week with Zeke?
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought of that, first time I I got my name of all the names the things that would rhyme with my name.
You should use that, Zeke. I think it's good. I think it'd be good for your brand.
Do I have to pay you for the use of it though?
It'll be on the JP bounty board. It's $100 for an hour of an indie game. I get to choose it as well.
Can we have our own bounty boards and pay other streamers to play games we want them to?
Yes.
Oh, dude, I would love that. That'd be great.
Amazing.
No. Nope.
We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back.
I got a game for you to play.
We'll be right back with more Drop Frames right after this. We'll see you guys then.